Hello, and thanks for watching today's video. Today, we are going to talk about a really interesting topic. And the question is retirement actually right for you, or would there be an alternative? And the alternative is...
a sabbatical.
A sabbatical, yeah. So before we get started though, there's a couple of housekeeping items. The first one is we're not financial advisors. So we're not telling you you should retire. We're certainly not telling you you shouldn't retire. And we're not telling you that you should take a sabbatical or that you shouldn't.
Right.
And if you're enjoying our videos, please subscribe, comment, tell us what you think, and
Give us a thumbs up.
So, what do you think about this?
Well, it sounds like a good idea, a good way to try it out. So there are some things to consider. When we were doing the research, we found that 80% of American workers are experiencing workplace stress and really want a really long break.
Yeah, and so maybe retiring early, everyone, apparently there's a massive push right now in the workforce for people to spend less, save as much as they can, to retire early. And it's interesting because we never even thought about those things 20 years ago, but now the workforce is thinking about those things, but maybe that's not the right answer for them. Maybe a break of one kind or another would recharge their batteries enough to kind of propel them on to go back to work. So,
Right.
What does a sabbatical even look like?
Yeah. Well, you can take a year, or I've known people to take even 3 months and just do some traveling, have some adventures that they've been wanting to do, relax.
Yeah.
Not think about work.
Yeah, and it can recharge the batteries. It can. We know one person actually, when they had worked with their employer for 10 years, they gave them, I think, a 3-month sabbatical, paid sabbatical.
Yeah, that would be nice.
We know another family. I would say they were probably in their early to mid 40s, maybe early 40s. Who took a year off. They left their jobs for a year and moved overseas to a foreign country, Spain in fact, and young kids with them, and they just loved it. They had a phenomenal time. And then when they came back, they went back to work.
Yeah.
So they kind of got it out of their system, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we also know some people who did something similar, except that they spent the entire year traveling all over the world with their 2 kids.
So they were kind of working remotely while they were doing it too, a little bit. So maybe the internet has kind of exposed people to other ways of life that they didn't know existed, and people are more anxious to stop working and enjoy themselves. The article that we read, which we'll link down below, talked about 3 types of sabbatical. One of them is more like a working holiday, where they stop their job but pursue more interests that they have in their break. And another one, they call it a free dive, where they're just finding themselves. They're just, time to relax and be introspective, I suppose. And then the final one is a quest, where they're pushing themselves to the limit and learning new skills, perhaps climbing Everest or, doing something like that, sailing around the world. And some employers will actually allow for a paid sabbatical, and others will allow the break unpaid, but they'll let you come back to your job when you're finished. That would be nice.
Yeah, and that really does allow for the retirement sort of freedom, at least getting your feet wet, seeing if that's something that you actually want to do, instead of just leaving it permanently and, not really easy to go back if you quit your job. So maybe a sabbatical is the right answer.
So testing out retirement.
Yeah, take it for a test drive with a sabbatical.
Yeah. I know. I wished I'd had a year off 15 years ago. That would have been nice.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good middle ground for people who are thinking about early retirement, but they're really just not quite ready for it. Take a sabbatical and see how it goes. Yeah.
So we'd like to know, what are your thoughts? Do you think a sabbatical is a good idea to kind of try out maybe retirement, or do you think you should just go for it and retire?
Yeah, and have you done it? Let us know if you've done it. How did it go? Yeah, so please subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate it. And if you're enjoying our content,
Give us a thumbs up.
Thanks a lot.
We'll see you next time. Bye.